What's up YouTube? Welcome back to another episode. I'm your host Hakman. In today's video, I'll be comparing stock S4 versus a murdered out B8.5 S4. Let's see if this B8.5 S4 is worth $26,000 Canadian. If you like this B8.5 S4, follow him on Instagram. The Instagram handle's Audi S4. Damn, that is amazing. I think I'm actually sold. Wow. I need that CTS turbo intake in my life. CTS turbo, if you guys are watching this, please hook me up. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Is the intake sound better or the exhaust sound better? And which one would you pick? The intake or the exhaust if you had to do one mod only? So if you're buying from a Canadian website, most of them they charge shipping. So it's going to be roughly $500. But I think it's $500 that I would personally spend compared to the $1,500-$1,600 on a Magnaflow exhaust, since I already know that the gains are minimal. Exterior mods are the RS front grille, grille accents that are like those big pieces on the bumper on the side. Then you have the ECS tuning front lip. I do like the front profile. It looks very aggressive. You have the rear diffuser, which I have to say makes the car look so much more aggressive. And maybe that has to do with those 4-inch tips. Since the S4s have quad tips instead of a dual exhaust, it just looks amazing. I think that's probably my favorite profile of this B8.5 S4. So for differences in the B8.5 S4 and the B8 S4, obviously aesthetics is the first thing. It was a facelifted model, and inside they have a better screen for your MMI and navigation. The biggest difference in these cars is the transmission. The B8 S4 had the Gen 1 DSG transmission, and the B8.5 S4 has the Gen 2 DSG transmission. Now that's the biggest difference I felt going from the B8 S4 into the B8.5. It was much more forgiving in stop and go traffic, because the B8 S4, if you're stuck in stop and go traffic, it jerks a lot. This is a second owner who was gracious enough to lend me his vehicle and do all these launches and driving on here. The steering does feel like much lighter on this compared to your typical S4 B8 or B8.5 with Audi Drive Select. So that's something that I'm not used to, because in dynamic mode the steering is very stiff on these. But apart from that, it just feels like a different car to me, with the exhaust and then that intake, and obviously like it's got these amazing wheels. Oh wow. And this thing does not come with a sport differential. It doesn't have Audi Drive Select. It's a bone stock S4 when it comes to Drive Select. Here, dynamic. Oh. Sounds very respectable, but I do wish now that I had the CTS turbo intake, because that thing just sounds mean. The B8.5 does seem like it pulls harder, but maybe it could just be the butt dyno. Oh my god, that was vicious. Holy shit. The butt dyno says the B8.5 S4 felt much faster than the stock B8 S4, but at the same time, it could be the sound of that intake because it makes that supercharger alive. Damn. Final thought would be, is this S4 worth the $26,000? Now, like I mentioned before, it has 128,000 kilometers. Audi S4 is the second owner, and you can see that he's taken good care of the car. If you're big into aesthetic mods, the mods that are on this car will probably run you around 5,000 to 6,000 Canadian dollars if you get them brand new. The B8.5 S4 still holds its value if it's low kilometers or well maintained. If I was to spend $5,000 to $6,000 on mods, I personally would have just kept the stock look, maybe changed out the front grille to the RS, because I do think the RS grille looks really good on these cars. What I would actually spend the money on would be the CTS turbo intake, and maybe like go for like a stage 2 tune, and that's where you actually make the most power on these. The $26,000 Canadian price mark is pretty fair because of the modifications it has. In the end, both cars perform very similarly. That's it for today's episode, guys. See you guys next week. Hakman out.